Hello everyone. Welcome again. That's two streams in a day. How's everyone doing? This one is a bit late, but I just wanted to go ahead and finish this one because we were working on a project and I wanted to get it done, as they say. So I'm gonna quickly start sharing my screen. Let's see if I can do a good job with this one. Last time I think we went with sharing a window, right? So let's quickly share a window. We should be able to go to Firebase Studio. Yup. And let's just do that. And Firebase Studio. There we go. Yeah. So last time we were looking into just integrating this with the project. So I think I just want to run this on Google Cloud Run, and then we should be able to access this from the page itself. So let's see if we can do that. Right. So it's authenticating it right now. Hopefully. Let's see. Da, 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 da. And then what I also need to do is, so what we are building right now is an agent sort of UI or a UI interface for building for a UI interface to connect with a Google ADK or deployed Google agent, or not an agent but an AI agent that has been deployed to Google Vertex AI agent engine. So that's what we are doing right now. So we should have okay, we are running the Cloud Run APIs now. Operation timed out. Okay, what happened here? Firebase Studio. Okay, let's see if I can run this as well. Because so far I think what we are doing is we do have the Flask app. I think this is where we are now. I can't really remember where we deployed this, so let's see. If I go back to my terminal, let's go to the terminal. I want to see which commands did we run before. So because I assume we did. Okay, here it is. So we basically did a Cloud Run deploy, and we deployed the Flask app manually. This is what we did last time, but I think there's a good way of doing it from here itself. Hopefully, if this works out well. Otherwise, we have this deployed. So it says not yet deployed. So let's deploy this now. And now this is going to deploy. So this part right here is okay. Enter the path to your app or final build bundle. Okay, let's see if I try to run. Okay, let's see. Let's have Gemini. Um, I want to deploy this to Google Cloud Run. Um, I'll name it Flask app. What command would we run to generate the build? And we also have like a Docker file as well. We also have a let's also say Docker file. We also have a Docker file, and then we can also say that I'm trying to deploy using Firebase Studio, and it says it asks me what is the build path. Okay, let's see. By the way, when I was streaming in the afternoon, I saw that we did not have any assistance on updating the files, but now we do. Okay, so here to build your Docker file, you can run the Docker file context of your project. Yeah, we got this file. So we could run this command, and then what happens is when the Firebase Studio asks for the build path, it's likely referring to a directory where your Docker file it is, and I can just say dot. Okay, so I can go here, I can say deploy, and then it asked me of the path. So I'm just gonna say dot and then just hit enter. Allow authenticated invocation. I would say yes, maybe, and we'll take it from there. And now we can go with, I think, US Central 1. This is where the last one was deployed, but I could use something else as well. Maybe Europe West 1. I think that could be fine. Yeah, let's do that. Europe West 1. Nice. So here it says deploying from source requires an artifact registry Docker repository to store build containers. A repository named Cloud Run Source Deploy in region Europe West will be created. Do you want to continue? Yes, I do want to continue. So I'm gonna say yes. Faisal, yo, how's it going, Faisal? Faisal, can you confirm if the sound is good enough, or is it? I'm gonna also move myself a bit up. I think customize, move up here maybe, um, and I hope the sound is good. I have my fan running on the side, so that's why I'm asking. So I hope it's not too loud. Okay, so this is gonna deploy it. And by the way, there was one thing that when I was doing the live stream, there was one thing that was failing, and that was some sort of bug that we had before this one. And just before starting the stream, or before I made my coffee, I fixed that. There was some issue with how we implemented the middleware, and the middleware essentially missed this line. So it was an issue with how the functions were being decorated. So yeah, um, now it's fixed. What is your name? Says hi. Can I ask what is your name? It's amazing. Sounds good. Yeah, after trying a couple of microphones, I think this one did really well. I have had it for about, I think, 2 or 3 years now, and it's pretty nice. Yes, I'm on headphones. Everything is good. Good. That sounds good. What is your name? Says who? Wo Faisal. What is your, or remember me? Are you asking me or Faisal? Who are you asking? And let's see. So this is going to be deploying soon. In the meantime, you're going to go to Agent Connect, and this was deployed already. So this is the deployed version of our front end. So what we're going to do is we are going to ask it to implement Firebase authentication. Um, and we are also going to say and implement sessions, for example. So what we are going to say first, let's go with Firebase authentication for now. I think we could enable Google Auth, but I don't think anyone wants to use Google Auth, to be honest. Maybe we can just do an email password. I think so. Maybe we can do implement Firebase authentication, because usually people don't really want to log in with their Google credentials, to be honest. Even though it makes things easier, but I think we can we can go with that. So we can say implement Firebase authentication using email and password. So we're going to start with that. We're going to do things step by step. Okay, I'm going to close this now. What is your name? Says both. I don't remember you, but you can remind me. I'm really bad with remembering names, to be honest. Faisal says, "What are you building, bro? Can you introduce?" Yeah, absolutely. So we have a series on my YouTube channel. It's called uh, Google Agent Development Kit for Beginners. So if you go to Google Agent Development Kit, you're gonna see it's a really nice way of creating agents really easily. So it's super easy to create agents with ADK, and it's really easy to create complex agents using ADK, especially, of course, if you know Python. So what usually happens is that when you try to create an agent, you can You can give the agent sort of which model it's going to use, a description, instructions, etc. And it takes all of those things. Alongside, you can also create some tools, for example, or use some tools like Google search, uh, your own Python functions, etc. And you can create agents that are super complex as well. For example, if I show you, let's say, workflow. Nope. Let's say agents. I think here you could find workflow agents. Here it is. So here you can see we can have sequential agents that run one by one. So for example, if you are creating viral LinkedIn or Instagram posts, you may want to do a research agent first, so that an agent that goes to Google search and then tries to find relevant information for the topic that you're asking. Once it's done with that, then it comes back, and then in parallel it generates two different things. It generates the LinkedIn post, for example, and could also generate an Instagram post as well. So creating these complex agents with ADK, Agent Development Kit from Google, is really easy. And not only you can use Gemini models, that is Google models, you can also use OpenAI models or Claude, etc. And I cover all of that essentially in my playlist as well. So you can see the playlists here, hopefully, once it loads. So for example, we have videos that have building your first agent, then you have working with tools and function calling using multiple AI models, structured data, that is getting a JSON out of the ADK, how to use session and state variables, etc., etc., deploying the agents on Vertex AI engine. This is the video, which is a bit big, but what I'm building right now is a continuation of this video. So once you deploy your agent to Google Cloud, which means that your AI agent is now live on production, it's public, it's available. How do you access it? How do you start giving it to users? Or how can companies then, after they've deployed their AI agent, create an agent UI to allow users to interact with that? That's what I'm building right now, and I'm using a lot of AI tools to do that. I'm using Firebase Studio and Gemini Code Assist. So this is the UI that we are going to have that allows us to interact with the agent, and this backend is the one that's going to essentially uh, be connecting with the agent, or the AI agent, so to say. So that's what we are doing at the moment. AI is going to be there soon. Believe me, top leaders are planning to put restrictions. Yeah. I heard. I think it was about, what was it? Uh, Let me see if I can. I don't like this part. Da-da-da-da-da. Hmm. Let me go here actually. So it was about 10 years ago when I heard Python. No, not Python. PHP is gonna be dead, and here we are. Is PHP dead? I don't think so. Are WordPress sites dead? I don't think so. Are Magento sites dead? I don't think so. Are Shopify apps dead? I don't think so. Not even going there. Talk about Fortran. Talk about COBOL. So any of these quote unquote philosophers who come and say this is gonna be dead, that's gonna be dead, I think it's just stupid. Nothing's gonna die, because once people start using applications, they build stuff on top of them, it's just gonna continue. Muhammad Affan says, Assalamu alaikum, what are we doing today? We are building a front end and a back end to connect with a deployed AI agent to Vertex AI. So an agent is already deployed to Vertex AI. We are building the back end to connect to that agent. So this backend has the API calls. It has all of that inside this, for example, chat controller, which has some endpoints like getting a particular session, sending a message, blah, blah, blah. And the front end is going to connect with this backend. Okay. All right. So here we go. We have, I think, we asked it to do something and then it fixed an error on itself. Okay, it's Maghrib time. I'm gonna be going to pray Maghrib in 10 minutes from now. Okay, if I don't, remind me. So in 10 minutes I'm gonna go, and then I'll be back. So here it says, of course, I will implement email and password using Firebase. This involves creating a new login page where users can come, blah blah blah. Now it has created some some pages, right? So now if I want to actually log in, what happens? Where do I log in? So I can create a new chat page where I can try to create some messages, and then it comes back as well. All of this was generated by AI. Nothing was generated by or coded by me so far, but we will see how this goes. Someone says, what about the restrictions countries are planning to make a board to make regulations? It doesn't matter. I think the thing is there would be regulations, just like there are regulations of GDPR. There are certain regulations in other countries as well. I That doesn't really stop AI. People will find workarounds to or loopholes to cater the requirements, even having privacy as well. But that doesn't really mean that AI is going to be dead. So there is going to be difficult to work openly, so to say, or without any restrictions, but it's not going to end, so to say. So I hope that answers the question. Okay, so let's see if I log out here, what does it do? Okay, so here we go. We have now sign up and or email and password. So I'm gonna do a sign up. Okay, invalid email. That's good. So I can maybe say Ahsan, and then I can give my email, and here I can say password, and then I do a sign up, right? Okay, so I'm successfully signed up now. So that means I can go to my authentication right here, and I can see my user there as well. So it created some users. It's 19th July, so it created some users for me. I think just anonymously because of creating the account, but that doesn't sound good to me. Okay, so it logged me in as well. So let me see if I can reload this. And I want to see my user. Where is my user? I don't see my user at the moment. Am I on the right project? I think I'm on the right project. Okay, but maybe it's is it connected to the right project? I'm not really sure, to be honest. Let's see. So we're gonna go to the code mode now. Where do you live? It's 1 a.m. in India. I live in Sweden, in Stockholm. It's about 10 p.m. here. Okay, so now we are not in the now we are not in the pro code mode. Sorry, in the prototyper mode. Now we are actually in the code mode, as they say. So the pro code mode. Now I want to see what happens here. So if I go here and sign up with my email, and I say, um, if I say sign in, it says auth wrong password. If I give it the right password, it logs me in. So it essentially has some sort of so it saved it somewhere. I'm not really sure where, and that is what bothers me. I'm gonna actually delete a couple of accounts just to make sure that I don't have anything at all here. Okay, so I go here. Let me try to just do another login, and I could say this. I could try to log out. How do I log out? Okay, so here is the logout button. So I log out now, and now I'll try this again, and I log in now. Okay, so it doesn't do it now, or I actually put the wrong password. So I think it's still using the right tools, but I think it's using the wrong. Yeah, it's using the demo app right now. So I have to use the actual Firebase credentials. I think once I deploy, then it should pick the right one. What is your name? Says "Hey, Dada, bade log ho aap." Acha. But you're going to sleep. Will complete in the morning. Sure, no rush. Okay, so we have this implemented now. Let's try. And something is broken. Why do we have this like? Uh, we have some UI issues for sure, but we can look into screen reader users. But I think we can look into that for later. Okay. So now that we have this done, let's actually look into this URL. Okay. So we can say, this is my service URL. I'm going to quickly save this. And then we can say, let's first try to run some sessions or some examples. Bro, go go to pray. I said 10 minutes. It's still 5 minutes. Remind me in 5 minutes. Stop it, bro. Okay. Okay, so what we do here is we're gonna say use the API read. Sorry, what was it? API testing command. So we have API underscore testing underscore commands. Okay, so use the API commands MD to create a session. And I'm not really sure. I think we may need to have a Firebase authentication token for this, but who knows? Let's see. To construct URLs to use against the endpoint. This. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first ask it to create the URLs. Is it time already? Did I say that 10 minutes ago? Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna be right back then. What I'll also let's do it. I'm gonna take a break, and then I'll come back in just a bit. So you two take a break and drink some water, especially if you drink a lot of coffee like me. I think it's about time from your break. Yes, I'm just going now. Where are you now? Means in which country? I'm in Sweden, in Stockholm, Sweden. It's just about north of Germany and besides, I think west of Finland. So it in my country right now, it is 10 p.m. About 3 hours behind from Pakistan. And it's just Maghrib time at the moment. I'm gonna be right back after Maghrib, so I'll see you in a bit. Let's do a be right back, and let's hide this guy. Hide the camera, keep the audio. Yes, that's right. Okay, so yeah, I'm back. Okay, everyone. I hope I am audible. तो मुझे बताइएगा अगर मेरी आवाज़ सबको आ रही हो. Just bring this a bit down. सही है. थोड़ा सा चल फिर के बात होगी. तो ज़रा कैमरा एडजस्ट कर लेते हैं. Nope. Wrong side. Much better, I think. सही है. Hey, Patrick. How's it going? सही है. Much better. Okay. So we can continue with this. What I wanted to do here is I would say give me a single text as prompt to give to a front end or to an AI tool which is generating the front end to tell it how to make API calls to list, to create a session, delete a session, send message to a session, list all sessions for the particular user, etc. And I'll say based on chat controller.py. I also think that we have the call, or we have an endpoint missing to get all sessions for a particular user. Okay, let's implement that afterwards as well, or we can say first. Actually, let's actually break this down into two. So I'm going to keep this particular prompt for later, and we can essentially go ahead with say we are missing an endpoint to say or an endpoint to get all sessions by the user. See chat controller.py, and we can say let's implement as well. Okay, let's do this first, and then we'll see how to take it from there. So now here it says here's the code to add to your chat controller. So what does it do? It just uses agent service get all sessions by user. I'll say, can you kindly make the changes? So let's see. So reading the file. Okay, so we have some changes. We can review the changes now. So we have a new function here to get sessions using the get method. Uses the Firebase token, looks at the UID of the user, and then essentially just runs that. So I'm going to update the file, and I think we need to also update the agent service. Yeah. So here we have the function. So for now, it just returns a dummy session, which is not actually required. But I'm gonna say, can you actually implement the right function for this instead of returning a dummy array? So let's see. Okay, so what does it say here? I understand you like me to implement the get all session by user, blah, blah, blah. However, need more information about how your session data is stored. Based on the existing code and file name, seems like you might be using Firebase or potentially some other database solution. Not really. Not really. I'm using Vertex AI engines. See agent service dot py. I would say agent service dot py, right? We can't do that. Ba, 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 ba. I don't know why it tries to also look into those the venv file. Maybe I could go and say inside the integrations JSON or something, or dev, which says ignore something something. I don't know. Yeah, here we have customization, right? I want to ignore. I want to ignore the file, or ignore or exclude. I can't see that. Patrick says, "Nice, thanks. How long do you walk on PC?" I think about that too. I try to do that mainly during mornings or morning meetings. So it's usually, I don't know, 30 minutes to 40 minutes. Today I ate a lot. It was the weekend, of course. So, and I did not walk as much as I should. So I'm going to be walking on a very slow pace, but maybe for, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We'll see. As long as we are streaming. And then after the stream, I can probably just stop. I will probably work on some sort of YouTube video afterwards, but let's see. Okay, so here I wanted to, I can maybe ask, how can I exclude files from Gemini Code Assist in Project IDX? Let's see. That's not the right link. But customization, what about customizations though? So maybe that's a good feedback to give to them. Okay, anyways, so then I can just say, I can just add the file myself for now, so not making it a blocker for me. So here we should be inside agent connect be, and then here should be source, and then we, what, which was the file, services, and then agent service file, right? So implement according to its APIs docs, maybe. Let's see. Because I think our job is yeah, such that we have to do some sort of activities, otherwise we'll just have like big bellies, a lot of fat, and hard to move around in general. Okay, internal error, can we get past it, please? Or did I break Gemini? Okay, maybe I can say no. No, offensive unsave keeps crashing. So let's say we submit this. Thanks for the feedback. And we should try this again. Hopefully it works this time. Maybe some sort of downtime or something. Okay, internal error. Let's try to go with Gemini Flash. And I have to give an API key here. So I'm gonna quickly go to my face, and then I can add the Gemini key. So give me 1 second. API key. API key, API key, API key. I connect Berlin. I don't know how much I've used out of my quota from there, but let's see. So I'm gonna put it there. Uh, let's go to the demo now. Amara says, could you please explain a little bit Firebase? Firebase is a service from Google which has a lot of things in it. It has database, it has web hosting where you can deploy web applications. It also has app hosting where you can deploy Node.js based applications like Angular server side rendered applications as well, or Angular applications that support server side rendering, so to say. Um, and then Firebase also has things like analytics, push notifications, a lot of things in general. And what I'm right now using is something called Firebase Studio, which is this agentic workspace. And I have a talk about this tomorrow at the TensorFlow user group, Islamabad. So I'm going to be doing an online talk at 12 p.m. Pakistan time. You can see the announcement on my Facebook and my LinkedIn. So you can maybe register for the event as well if you want. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's the general sort of idea of Firebase. Okay, let's try Gemini 2.5 Flash. Now that I've put my API key there, I'm hoping it works well now. An internal so it also causes an internal uh, error. What about 2.0? Okay, so we got some response now. So this one, it doesn't really add anything to it, but I don't see the change. I'm gonna go back to built-in model and see, can you implement it correctly based on Vertex AI agent engine in the, what was the file called, agent service py, service.py file for getting all sessions by a user. We can all obviously go to the documentation and we can see how to implement it ourselves, but I want Gemini to do the work, right? So here, let's see the review changes. So here, now it tries to give something based on the available Vertex AI agent engine. So it says all user resource ID. So it tries to get resource ID for user, and then it goes ahead and gets the session, and then deployment.list, and then what does it do? All sessions or extend session. I don't know what this is doing, to be honest. I think it's not accurate, but we'll see. Did you find it? I could also try and see if I can find it. Hey Hassan, please, what Git workflow would you suggest for a solo person project? Git workflow in general would be just having the main branch. You branch off of main, you work on your feature on that or a fix on that, and then merge it back. Not to make it too complex, we don't really need develop and then feature and then fix branches, so to say, or named branches. If it's your solo project, I would say just keep it simple, um, but not too much, not too complicated. All right, let's try with AI Studio. We're gonna go to AI Studio to figure this out, and the first thing I want is the dark mode, of course. So let's try to use it here. So here we have it. I wanted to use it from here, to be honest, but it doesn't really do the job. Okay, let me try to give it the whole context. So I'm gonna say I have this code. Please suggest implementation of getting all sessions for a particular user. Particular user. And we can also mention here we are using Python and Vertex AI agent engine, of course, alongside Google's ADK, agent development kit. All right, let's see. Mr. Matt says, do you prefer rebase or a squash? It's not usually rebase versus a squash. Usually, it's usually rebase versus fast forward or fast forwarded merge, so to say. So it's rather merge versus rebase. I prefer rebase in general. I do use a squash whenever I have a lot of commits. I try to not have a lot of commits. I try to do, git commit amend more or less. But if I have a lot of commits anyways and I don't want them, then I do squash. Otherwise, I keep it simple. Hmm. Okay, so what did this really do? Let's have a look here. Storing user sessions mapping. So here it says we have a Google ADK sessions, and then we have Vertex AI session service. So we keep our sessions there. Okay. Uh, do, 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 do. Patrick says Rebase and I'm into exactly, just like the pros. Okay, so here, let's see. What did we come up with when it comes to session? Now I'm actually lost. So we have some endpoints. In these, we essentially just generate sessions and then we return back a session, right? But what if we want to get all the sessions of the particular user? And this is from agent service. Okay, so we go to agent service here. When we create a session, we just create the deployment dot create the session. So let's see. And I should have given this file actually. I can say sorry. The code actually needs to be here. Or did I give the right file actually? Delete users message history. No, I give it to the wrong file. Okay, so the code needs to be in this file. We need to implement getting all sessions by a particular user, and of course resource id. Okay, so we go like this and let's see what happens there. We would need to make some changes, I think, according to the implementations that we have done, because previously we thought, okay, we're going to take the front end, we're going to pass the resource id, which is like the identifier of the agent engine, and then we're going to pass that to the backend, and the backend then will directly connect on it, which was not true because we need to have service accounts for authentication. That basically removes everything, so we don't really want that. Pathetic build says cheap viewers on Streambo Live. Yeah, it sounds like something you would say. Okay, so we got this function here. So here we have get all sessions by user. We also have get message history. Did we already have that function? Get message history. Okay, so we do have that. Nice. So we can go ahead with this. So this is what I was looking for basically. So I can quickly go ahead, do this. So we get all the sessions, right? Then we can go to chat controller, and then we are using the right function here as well. Yay, let's go. So I think we have the right functionality now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly save everything, and then since it's done, I can just say deploy again. So we can go ahead to Firebase Studio here. Yeah, yeah, allow that. Allow. Patrick says, I have to go see you in the next video stream. Of course. And you're welcome anytime. Thank you for joining the stream. Take care. Have fun. All right. So we would go ahead to Cloud Run and we need to deploy. So we can authenticate now and then we can deploy a new version. And I'm also going to open that in the Cloud Console. So we can see the Cloud Run service as well. And we can see if there are any logs that we need to take care of, etc., etc. Okay. So let's see if the service is so here is our service, which is gonna be deployed pretty soon, I would say, but we should have the project correctly. Where's my project agent connect? That's the project. And here is we have studio container require authentication. This was done. That's the container with the deployment. We can also have a look at the logs as well if everything is good or if everything is completely broken, and that we shouldn't expect anything to work at all. Okay, so the memory limit we have here as well. Okay, so let's quickly go ahead with the. I think I could go ahead, edit, and deploy a new version. And I think it was somewhere around memory here. So we change this to 1 GB. And I think once this deployment is done, then we can trigger another deployment, or I can just say deploy again and it should go. It should schedule another deployment, hopefully. Okay, so there should be a deployment anytime soon. Okay, it's building the source and it's going to deploy it there, but I think we would still have the new container then deployed, which is good. So now I think we can go ahead and ask this guy to start implementing it. But let's say, I would say the task, or we can say you can stop here. The last time the problem was it took quite a long time to just stop this or stop the current process, which I don't know why it takes so long. Maybe I should write that somewhere. Um, I don't have my notebook with me, so I'm gonna probably just write somewhere else down. Give me 1 second. Notion. And then we go ahead and we say, Firebase Studio feedback. We can say stopping Gemini code assist thingy is super slow. Ignoring VNV folder from suggestions in Python project. And then we'll say a few more things as well. But I'll keep it like this for now. Okay, so now that we have this, let's try to see if this is deployed correctly. So we have 1 minute ago. I'm going to quickly go to the containers logs and see if everything works there as expected. Hopefully things are good. Okay, so we do have things better now compared to before, where we had this issue with the limits. Now what we can do is we can ask the AI agent to give us a prompt for the front end. Okay, so I'll say now look at, or can I say clear? Okay, so I'll say look at the file chat controller.py and agent service.py, which I can probably add from here as well. So I can say source services, and we can also say the endpoint is this, and the endpoint production being this, and generate a detailed prompt for an AI tool which is building the front end for this app, to tell it what the endpoints are for sessions, listing, creation, deletion, sending a message, etc. Okay, so it's going to generate that for me. And my camera is gonna die. So I'll try to fix it. Let's see if I can fix it. Okay, maybe I'll fix it. Let's see. Because the other camera is just bad. So give me 1 second. I'll see if I can fix it properly. In, okay, now it should be good. All right, so we got some text here. Here's a detailed prompt for based on you are an AI assistant, blah blah blah. I'm gonna copy this and copy this from here. Okay. Now I can go to the front end one and basically come up with the instructions right here. Okay. So maybe I can just go ahead and say this. You are an AI tool. Also, the backend is hosting here. You need to interact with the following endpoints to manage chat. Blah blah blah. Um, I would say to it, read the above instruction and make the relevant changes. So let's see what happens now. Okay, so I'm ready to assist, blah, blah, blah. So to start, please tell me what specific changes you would like me to make for. You could ask me to create a function to initiate new chat session, implement the logic for sending messages within the session. I think I'm gonna go to the prototyper mode for this because I think that's gonna be much better. So here I can say um, read read the above instructions and implement the features appropriately 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 appropriately. Let's send it. Let's see what the prototyper does in this case. I'm hopeful from prototyper. Okay, so now the application is being updated to use a custom backend API instead of Firebase store for chat functionality. This includes creating, deleting, and fetching chat sessions and messages via HTTP requests. Authentication will be handled by passing the user's Firebase ID token in the authorization header. Okay, good, good, good. Hopefully that would turn out nice for us. It's gonna be super fun if this works like without a lot of efforts. It's gonna be the best project to look at. Okay, so here we have something that's running. I'm not even sure if okay, so we have a bunch of network requests going wrong in here. Let's see. I'm gonna zoom out a bit. So we have things here. Okay, so access to fetch this has been okay. So we have some course errors. So what we're going to do is we're gonna quickly um, try to make this better for the endpoints. So what? Let's do it like this. So we're gonna say da, 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 da. I want to actually look at the origin, so to say. Let's say I'm gonna say understand. Oh no, console insights. No, I'm gonna actually look at the origin. What the origin says to me. Okay, so that's the origin. Good. That's the origin. Okay, good. So here I can go ahead and say to my agent, um, I want you to whitelist these two endpoints for JSON or for for course in our project. So we have this endpoint, and then we should also have an endpoint for the deployed one, which is this guy. Okay, because our backend is causing course issues. Let's see what happens. Pop, 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 pop. Reviewing the changes, so implementing course, and then we basically add these two. Let's do it. Good, and then we just deploy. Hopefully, once this is done, we can access it with the course implemented, and then yeah, then we potentially we would have this working. We'll see. But would you be interested? So once this works, my plan was to maybe make this public, so people who are trying to create UIs for Google agents or Google AI agents, or agents that are deployed to Google Cloud Run or the Vertex AI engine. We have a backend that supports it, and then we have a front end to run queries from or ask questions and whatnot, right? So let me know in the chat if that is something that you would be interested in to having, and then we'll see how that goes from there. I'm thinking actually that if if this works and we are able to get like one or two API calls working, then I'm gonna stop the stream, because I think it would take a bit more time to fine tune the UI, fine tune, how the app looks like, what the features are, etc., etc. But I think it's not going to be able to, or it's not going to be possible to do all of that in like one go. So we will see. We'll probably make it a bit easier. Da-da-da-da-da. Mhm. Okay, what happened here? So we got some errors. Do-do-do-do. So here we got terminated with exit code 1. Why? Why did it do that? Let's see. What happened? Module, okay, no module name flask course, of course. Um, can we install the package flask course using poetry? So we are using a package, we're not installing it. Of course, it's not going to work. Command failed. Poetry command is not available in the terminal environment. I cannot install it. So maybe I can install it myself if I go to bash, where I think I have this the source environment created. Okay, now we have this. So I'm gonna try to run the server again. So let's run the server again. We're gonna first try to run it and see if it works out of the box. If it works, then we can just deploy it. Hey Danny, how's it going, man? Good to see you. 2 videos in a single day. Yeah, I streamed in the morning. Then I went for an eye examination to check my eyesight. It seems good so far. They said no need to have eyeglasses, but I'm gonna probably have a computer glasses done. Mine was broken, I think, I don't know, 9 months ago or 10 months ago, and I had like the glue keeping it together at the moment. But I figured out that I could perhaps have a computer glasses made and then ask my company to pay for it. So I'll probably do that. But then I didn't finish it. So I do want to finish this project, and hence this is the second time in the day. So yeah, here we are. Now that the server is running fine, I can just deploy it and then we can see if this works fine this time. But how's it going for you, Danny? And I also have to sleep around 12 today. I would say not more because I would have to, because I have to I have a talk tomorrow at 9 a.m. my time, so I have to wake up early as well just to have my coffee and breakfast ready. Otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna be speaking and speaking quite a lot without having any energy. So we'll see. But let me ask in the chat. What is the? Let me ask it like this. Maximize no. What is the biggest shock that you have had recently, that you looked at and you were like surprised? What was it? Share in the chat. What has been your surprise shock recently? Then he says, "Fine, going to sleep in a few minutes, but I have your morning video on my watch list." Awesome. We did publish the video on. I think my last Angular video was, what was this about? I think it was about the get pre-rendered parameters. And I absolutely forgot that I could have used bit component bindings, which allows you to have the route parameters as signals. I completely forgot it. It's like perks of actually coding and creating videos, at midnight. The brain is almost dead. So anyways, but that video is doing pretty well as well. I think I will look into some more videos and create some more shorts before attempting a big video tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But absolutely, have a good sleep, and we'll catch up later. Tut, 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 tut. And I also, by the way, I also found out, chat, that we have a really nice repository by one of the Google developers experts, and we have we have it so that you can write books through it by just coding in Markdown. So you can create your content in Markdown, and then you can publish it, or you can create the builds for Lean Pub, for Amazon KDP. It's really good. I'm thinking about moving my Angular book that I just published to that, and then maybe releasing an update later on via that. It's super interesting. Danny asks, any plans to show something about GenKit? Yes, actually, we have. I have a software, or I have a friend circle with a software consultancy named IOMX, and I'm working with them on a few interesting projects. We are working on some NA10 automations, so some AI automations, with potentially having Google's ecosystem in that. We're also working on some things related to Firebase GenKit. So we are working on a a story, a kid's story writing or generating project, which is really cool. We are using GenKit, we are using Imagen in that as well, and it's based on Angular. So that's going to be fun to discuss, and even we are probably going to make this public as well. And then we also have this project, but then a similar project with IOMX as well, and they are building it with Streamlit. So just Python and Streamlit to sort of achieve the same thing, but we'll see how that goes. So a couple of threads are going on at the moment. But yes, I do have a project that I created, I don't know, 8 or 9 months ago, that was sort of a Notion clone, because it had this collaborative editing possible, just like Notion has. And I don't know when I'm going to be able to publish that, because it's a really big project. I was hoping to get maybe some sponsors who would sponsor a big video, and then I could make that part of it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll release it regardless, because I was confused if I should do that during live streams. So I plan it and do it using live streams, or if I just create a video course out of it. But it's a big one, so I need some time to plan it. But now that I have my book published, I think it's gonna be a bit easier. Anyways, we do have this URL ready, so that means our backend is deployed, hopefully, and we probably shouldn't have any issues now. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay, I'm gonna try to see the logs again and see if anything breaks now. Okay, here it says Firebase admin SDK path not set already initialized. That is not good. We should have that actually. Um, but let's see. But I'm not then. All right, let's see. We'll see where this goes. But let's try this again now. So I'm gonna reload this, and let's see what happens. Let's see if we still have these errors coming in. Okay, so we still have them. Responsive flight request, blah blah blah. So we still have some errors coming in for this. Zishan, hello, hello. How are you doing, Zishan? So, I'm still thinking why. Okay, let's see. And I mistakenly reloaded the whole project. So we do have the cores. At least I think they should be working. So we do have the cores right here. We are enabling Firebase Studio with the right cluster that we have here. Um, and the deployed URL as well. I also want to look at this, but this is the deployed one, right? We don't really want to, or we could also publish as well. So we are going to publish, but then also I want to see the issues here as well. Okay, so here we have failed to fetch. I'm going to try to fix the errors. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, applications trying to fetch the chat threads before. What did it say before? The agent resource ID is fully loaded, resulting in a failed network request. What did it change? Okay, but I don't think that's the issue, to be honest. I don't think that's the issue. Yeah, that's not the issue. The issue is something else. The issue is primarily that we are trying to fetch this URL, but then it's blocked. Okay, I'm gonna try to ask Gemini to see if it can fix it. Still getting this error. Why? Danny, come on, man. That wasn't necessary. Thank you so much for the €2. Thank you. I appreciate it. But not necessary at all. You being here and chatting is good enough for me. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so here it says it seems the cost policy is still blocking the request, blah blah blah. Although the added cost library and configured whitelist, it could be that the deployment is not updated. Okay. You need to deploy the application for the new cost configuration. It could also be that the incorrect cost configuration is there. There might be other configuration setting as a cloud service related infrastructure. Okay. So to fix this, we should redeploy the Cloud Run service. This is the most crucial step. Verify Cloud Run configuration, check the Cloud Run service. Okay, can we ensure we are also including the environment file, env as well in the build, so we don't have to put them again. I want to confirm this, or I want to have that otherwise deploy there. So here it says, based on the provide context, Cloud Functions Firebase supports using env file. However, your project appears to be a Flask application intended for Cloud Run, not Cloud Functions. Ooh, okay. Did I say functions? Okay. Um, while current env file in the same way Cloud Functions, we can achieve similar outcome during the container build process. So here's how we can modify it. Okay. Can you make the changes to Docker file? I can do the changes, by the way, but I don't want to do them, to be honest. I want Gemini to do the hard work for me. Internal. Please, please, please fix it now. Okay. I'm going to go to Flash and see if this works. Okay, so what are the changes now? Okay, it gets python.env, so updating the file there. Then we have copy PyProject. Okay, so here we have okay, so copy env is added there. Makes sense. So now I will modify source py. Okay, go ahead. So let's see. So now it's actually doing the load env. So we update this. Now when you build and deploy your Docker image, the environment variables specified in your env should be available to your Flask application. Okay. I'm gonna just say, can we just add some print statements to ensure we have the variables set, and instead of logging their values, just saying we have them set. Okay, so we're just gonna set those and let's see if that works out well. Okay, so here let's see what the changes are. Okay, so we do have those things set. There we go. And I think that's pretty much it, right? I have you will see these. Okay, good. So now we can deploy these, and hopefully when these get deployed, we should be able to see them at least when the server starts. And then we can also perhaps we can also say, can we add some logging to the endpoints as well, especially to see if there are any requests that are blocked by CORS. Okay, it's Isha time. Okay, so which files are being changed? So if I review the changes, we are adding import logging. Okay, but is that package okay, so we do that, we add some logging right here, we have before request here as well. Okay, so we add that. Okay, configure uh, do need to install any package for this, for the logging, just to confirm. No, okay, so we don't need anything. As you can see, I'm Python expert, hence asking these interesting questions. So with the logs explorer, let's see what failed here. Or I should just click. I'm gonna refresh this, and I'm gonna also show command output. So this said open in Cloud Console. No module found flask course, but that was 17 minutes ago. What is something else that we are having right now? hmm So we're getting some 404 calls from here, right? As you can see. Okay, we'll see about this. Debugger is active, blah, blah, blah. But this was not deployed actually. So I'm going to try to deploy this now. Hopefully it works well. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Building and deploying. Hopefully it works well at the end. And I want to see if we keep making those calls or not. So if I refresh from here, does it give? Okay, so it does give us the cause issues, right? And we should see them right here as well. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Let's see. Okay, so why did it fail? Failed. Cloud run deploy failed. Check build logs for details. We want to see the build logs. So why does it fail? Wasn't there some place where I could see the logs? Nay, 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 nay. Okay, so this is the one, right? Um, if I see the logs here, I don't see the logs. Hmm. Proto payload error. Hmm. I don't know why this is failing, to be honest. Let's refresh. I don't know. Should we deploy again or what? I don't know if I should just deploy. Let's see. All right, let's see if this works this time. But this, I'm confused. Why the changes that we did? What could be the case? So, let's see. So, the deployment is failing. How do I check what went wrong? Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So if I go ahead and do this, if I do G cloud builds help, group maybe, command maybe, yeah. So G cloud builds list. Okay, so these ones are the ones that got failed just now, and this was 2058. This was 55. So I think this is the one, and I don't know. This is the ID, I think. Hmm. Uh, am I missing something? Okay, so here the I is here. It was super weird. So then I pick this guy, and then I say G Cloud builds log, and then I give I think just the build ID, which was where, and I don't have it anymore. Good. This was the ID. I copy it, and then G Cloud builds log, and if I just put it here, maybe I can get the logs. Okay, so these are the logs. Okay, so here is the error. So creating a virtual environment, blah blah blah. So we can just say poetry log to fix the log file. Okay. If I say poetry install dash dash no root poetry or you poetry install no root. Good. I think it should deploy now. That was probably the case. Okay, I can probably now start writing this Google Cloud in my CV just because the AI helped me. Okay, the revision is up there, but it won't still be deployed. So we're gonna have to wait for the deployment to be done. CXM CXMX Dev. Thank you so much for the follow. Okay, it seems like it's going to deploy this time. Once this is done, I'm gonna take maybe a short break. So we'll see. Loading sources. I want to see here the revisions as well. So if I go to service details and this guy, I want to see how many times it has been. So 5 minutes ago, right? If this gets deployed, then we should have another revision, which should potentially resolve the issue of cross origin site scripting or course, so to say. Okay, so this is good. The container was built, setting the IAM policy, and we should actually be good. Oh, we also have an option of setting the service environment variables. That is good. I didn't see that before. But if we got the logs, because now we have these logs saying Firebase SDK admin path is set, um, and then we should not be seeing this error. Firebase admin SDK path not set already initialized. Then we should actually see if the variables are correctly set. Then we should be seeing those pretty nicely. So we will see. Okay, so we have this deployed. Let's double check the revisions now. Okay, so we got one now, just now, as you can see, which means I should be able to actually get it running, hopefully. So let's hope for the best. All right. Okay, no errors so far. That is good. But then do we make those calls? All right. No, we got an error. Uh, man, we wanted to have this. We wanted this to be working so bad. So this is also blocked. Let's see the logs now. First, we'll see if we got the logs correctly. So here you can see Firebase SDK path is set. That's good. Vertex AI path set. Firebase admin SDK set. Good. Now we got options, right? Oh, the problem is the problem could be that is still not allowing options call. Could it be the case? I think it could be, right? But here is the call, right? So in this one, we got the options call, but then we did not have anything at all out of that options call. Let's have a look at this again. So I'm going to try this again from the actual app. If I do this now, it's still blocked. And then if I go here, refresh now, let's see. So no more logs so far. Let's have a look again. So incoming request options sessions, right? And this is the request origin. Then we got this guy. Then we have resource ID, this guy, ASD. Then we got sessions, and then we have this thing as well. The project ID, I think it's not a problem because we are making these call, but I think this is the problem. So, I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to take a screenshot and then I can send it to Gemini to see if it knows what to do. Okay. So, we have the service deployed. It seems like the options call fails, but the rest don't show something weird. However, from the front end, we see the attached error on console. Okay, so I'm gonna attach the front end error as well, which is this guy. So let's quickly copy this. Let's paste this as well, and let's see what happens. A common issue with Flask course origin. Okay, so here it found some issue. So a common issue with Flask, sorry, course origin is a mismatch in the trailing slashes. The error passage shows the front end origin is this, and I think we have the slashes in the course. Aha! Who would have thought that? I actually thought about that, but I was stupid enough to leave it. So we should not have slashes in the whitelists, as you could imagine. So we are removing those now, update it, and now we have to do this again. We have to deploy the app, and then we have to, yeah, and then we have to check it again. Anyway, so here, what does it say? The logs in the front end console clearly indicate the options, blah, blah, blah. This points to a routing mismatch. From main py, you have app, chat blueprint, fix API. This means all endpoints defined are prefixed with API. Aha, it could be the create session for post session becomes API sessions. Okay, notice that the API is missing in the request URL from the front end. Ah, interesting. So we missed that. Faisal says, "Bro, are you on a treadmill?" Yes, I am. I am on a treadmill. I've burnt about 137 calories so far. I'm walking on a speed of 2.5 kilometers per hour, and I've been walking for about 65 minutes now, on and off. That's what's happening. So now, for example, instead of calling this, you should call blah 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 API. Okay. Um. All right. So now let's make that change in here. So I can go ahead and say to my code base that we have the endpoint wrong in the entire app. Here, for example, instead of calling this, front end should call this because here we can say because we have the backend endpoints prefixed with API. Okay, so we're gonna make those changes, and hopefully they should be fine. Okay, so of course that we see wrong base URL for the backend endpoints, blah blah blah. To avoid this kind of interfere, I'll also centralize the API base URL in a single file. Okay. Okay, so it's making a lot of changes, and I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but let it do its thing. I would say, checking for errors. Okay, so we got an issue now. What is the issue? Some sort of token issue, which I think would still be because of the deployment and because of the slashes as well. So what we are going to do is we're going to still publish this and deploy this, even with the error that we have. But then once this, once the backend is deployed, okay, which it is right now, I think we should be good, to be honest. Let's see if there's a new revision just now. So if I go here, look at revisions, it should be. So this is 8 minutes ago. Did we not deploy this again? I think we did not deploy it, right? Okay, so we need to deploy this again. So let's deploy the backend as well. Hopefully it works out fine. Amara says, I'm currently working on Streamlit and encountered some errors. However, when I build my own agent and deploy it on Streamlit, it works fine. Okay. Can you suggest some tips or best practices to overcome common Streamlit challenges and build a robust agent? I think it's a hard one to say. There's no I don't think there's a best practice to anything at all, or to this particular paradigm, because every time you're gonna move ahead and you're going to implement something different, implement something new, you're going to face errors, you're going to find issues, and we should not be fearing those, or we should not try to avoid that, because that's exactly what experience is getting into issues and fixing those. If you already know, let's say, everything that you should not have any issues at all, then you basically mean you don't have anything to learn more at all. So so yeah, there's no best practice. I would say just use AI tools with search capabilities, or use Stack Overflow, etc., etc. But yeah, there are going to be issues. For example, what you have seen me doing so far, I don't think I've done anything successful in the past hour. I've been facing one issue after another one and another one and another one, and that's how basically you fix things, you move ahead, and the end result at some point would be that we have a working application. But before that, it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be problems, and that is exactly what software engineering is all about. So I don't think there's a best practice to it. Yeah. Yeah, I think the one of the things that we can do as software developers is to not have too much of a high expectation from ourselves, that we're going to reach a point where things would just start to make sense, and we wouldn't have to google or search or fix things. All of the issues that I'm fixing right now, I've done already in the past. For example, course issues, whitelisting domains, you know this, even this issue with wrong endpoint having not API prefix. I've done this at least 10 times in the past. I can easily say more than 30 times for different applications, but I've done it at least 10 times, so I already know what are the problems and what are the solutions. That's why it may seem like it's going really smooth for me, and I'm like not really picking my hair out, or I'm not getting frustrated, because I've already I've already been frustrated in the past so many times. So I'm a bit chill now. And also what I'm building right now doesn't really it doesn't affect my job. I don't have to, nobody's paying me for this, so I don't have to worry quite a lot, and I don't have any social anxiety or pressure that I have to perform really well in front of you guys. So yeah, it's all good. Exactly, yes. So now that we have this deployed, let's try this out once more. And I think the front end would also be fixed now. So let's try this out now. So I'm going to try to refresh. Let's see the network call. So it's pending now. I'm not really sure if it's going to work or not. But let's see the URL at least. Okay, so it failed again. This time, no, that's not the one. So this is the one. Still, you see that this one is not really using the slash API endpoint, right? As you can see, we just send the resource ID. We should be sending, yeah, we should be sending the authorization, which is good, but we are not really using the right endpoint still. Because this is publishing in progress. Okay, my bad. So you can see that this is still being deployed. Once this is deployed, then we can try out the endpoint, and then we can see if it works at all. And it takes about 5 minutes to deploy, which is fine. We can also look at the logs as well. They should also be somewhat here. Mhm. Deployed from Firebase Studio. So we've gotten some errors, but this should be 111 requests in the last 7 days, and one error. That's not too bad. That's good. Okay, so let's see. Once this is deployed, we should be hitting the right endpoint. If I go to the revisions now and go to logs, I think I would still see these calls coming in, which is this options, which is 404, right? So because the options call comes on an invalid endpoint, it just gives a 404, and then it doesn't really move forward from there at all. So we just have to wait while the publishing is done. But we did it like 6 minutes ago. It's at 5 minutes. Firebase, why are you late? Let's go back. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay, so these are the chats that we have so far. Mara says, yeah, bright see lots of errors sometimes. Exactly, yes. So we should not be afraid of errors as much. Let's keep coding. I'm thinking if I should, I'm hoping that at least the calls start working, and then I can call it a day and end the stream, hopefully. Let's see, because then I'll just I have to pray Isha, then I'll go and sleep because I have to wake up at 3. So yeah, I sleep, I wake up in about 3 hours for Fajr, and then yeah, and then I have to wake up at 8 as well. So we will see. All right, so we have the app deployed now. Let's go there, and let's also open network tab. So we got a 500 now. That's not too bad actually. So we went to the API sessions call now. Look, that's progress. A different error is a progress. So let's see if I refresh now. So we still see that we have this no access to origin, but then we make the get call, right? And then we see a 500. So I would say it's still progress. We have a different error, so to say. And here now you see the errors. Ooh, look at that. That's what I wanted. So now what's happening here? Um, this one comes in here, and then we have something, 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 site packages, flask, app.py. Then we got this error. What does this say? And then self-handle exception, and then course after request. And then we have full dispatch, self-handle exception, course after request, dispatch request. I'm not really seeing any errors at the moment, or any particular errors that I could see. Aha, here it is. So get all sessions by user missing one required positional argument, resource ID. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is in the Gemini one, we already know update the chat controller pi, and I would say agent service, which is here, to use the resource ID. And I think we already had the resource ID somewhat here. Let's see if I can find it out. Yeah, this is the one. Here, resource ID from the service account. I don't think that's gonna be as, I would say, as an env variable. um, Set the default value as this, I would say, in the env file for now. And this is probably going to cause some changes to the file itself. So I'm gonna make the changes in the env file, and then I can share my screen again. But I think that's probably I think we are actually getting really, really close to having a working solution, and that is exciting, to say the least. Okay, so let's see, review the changes. Default resource ID, I would just use it as it is. Good. Update the file, and that means we don't really have to send the resource ID from the front end. Even if we are doing this right now from the front end, we don't really need to do that, to be honest. So we'll see. So we try to get OS environment. Okay, default resource ID, we don't really need to. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now. So here you can see that it's updating the other files to use the default resource ID. Okay. And and I think we can update the file here, and then we can just go and redeploy. Okay, so we have made those changes. I think we just need to redeploy. So we're going to do a quick redeploy from here. and I will go and pray Isha in the meantime while this is being deployed. One thing that I also want to do, sorry, it's asking me to re-authenticate again. So we're gonna deploy now, building and deploying. Good, good, good. One thing that we could do is to ask this, remove the resource ID input from the app that we show in the beginning, and remove it from the API calls. The backend now already knows about the resource ID. Okay, so we're gonna make it like this. And once this is done, then we can also deploy or start a deployment here as well. So we can avoid all of the magic that we were doing before. And my camera died, which means I can try to bring this one in. Let's see. Let's see if the other one is okay. Maybe it is. Okay, so we're gonna use this one. All right. So let's see what errors we have now. Invalid ID token failure, no kit claim. I don't know what this means. Uh, okay, I have no clue what the kid thing is, but let's see. Okay, let's see if I can say fix this error. No problem at all. Hope everything that we are doing helps. Of course, that's invalid token error. Application is trying to blah blah blah. A real production ready token. Okay, so now it's changing all of this. So I need to now log in. So I'm gonna log in using my account. Pressing enter doesn't really log in, which is not good. Auth API key not valid. Please pass a valid API key. What does that mean? API key not valid. Aha. Okay, but we'll see. Then I'm just gonna publish it, and we'll see what happens. Oh no 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 no! Oh, can cancel this? Okay. I actually want to go back to this part. So this is the current one. I want to go to this part actually. I'm gonna restore it because we want to use the development token, to be honest. Let me try to see if I can log in now. Okay, so this is good. We don't want to run production things here. This is fine. I don't. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. So this one is going to deploy it in production, but we want to see if things look okay regardless. So we're going to let this be deployed. The backend was deployed already. If I go to logs now, I could refresh and see the logs. So this one is still is a 401, which is still much better than a 403. No, or a 404, so to say. So we will see if things turn out well. I'm gonna let this guy deploy. It's gonna take 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go and I'll be right back. So let's see. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna go away for a while. Hello, everyone. Sayaji, we are back, and let's wrap it up. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to open one. Let's see the network request. I'm gonna refresh now. Still 500. So we have some other error. Hopefully, let's refresh this now. So this one, what does it say? Payload not set. What? क्या बात है यार. What is this? What is this? What is this magic right here? A domain API platform Google permission. Okay. AI platform engine. Okay. Okay, that's progress. So we have permission denied. Okay. I actually want to go and okay. I think it's like it's so what do you call it? It's so intimidating. Ah, getting this error seems like access is denied, and we want to set some IAM stuff. So the thing is, it's so intimidating that I want to fix all of those things now. Um, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so the Cloud Assist API needs to be enabled, etc., etc. But the thing is, it's like every time we see it, we're like, oh, this is so close, so close. But then, yeah, we see the time, and it's like 5 hours, 6 hours. Hmm. So let's see what errors are we facing. So what we want to do is we're going to go to IAM, and then this is the one that we want. Okay, so let's go to, but do I have to then get a service account, um, or do I have to do, or is it this one? So we have a service account here that we downloaded, right? This is the one, right? And permissions, and I think we just need to access, and we had these two, right? So we have to have another role that says this. Reasoning engines. Wait a second. We can maybe ask, help me choose roles. Hmm. Vertex AI viewer. I don't think so, to be honest. It should be something different. Um, let's see. Where was the error? It was somewhat around here. Yeah. So here we have it, right? I would say maybe try to find reasoning engines. Okay, so this one actually, I think. Policy updated. Can we try this again? So we still got that. I want to refresh. And this is from 2346. No. Yeah, it's actually 1 minute. So this one again. Could it be that we have the location somewhere else and the agent deployed somewhere else? Could it be the case? Because the region is Europe West. It could be that the region is not. Um, I think it could be that it's the region that's causing the issue. Um, okay, let's see. Could it be that the reasoning engine is in US Central 1 and the service is accessing from Europe West 1? Let's see if that's the case. Mm, it's not caused by the reason. Okay. Okay. So which roles to assign in IEM for this? Because that is a big question, right? I would say Vertex AI administrator then. Okay, let's see. If I go to manage access, I think it's then Vertex AI. Okay. It's a bit risky to give all of this access, to be honest. But then Vertex AI reasoning. I think this is what I went for, right? But then do I need to have another key generated? I don't know if I need. Okay, let's say I'm gonna ask it. Oh, but I have actually done that. Okay, then we don't really need the service account, but then we need to move the code. Okay, I'm gonna stop streaming right here, and then we'll take it later on because I think we can go this we can go into this rabbit hole where I fix one thing, then it comes another thing, and then another thing, and then we, yeah, we never really end, so to say. It's gonna be it's gonna be a shame, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. 2346 was the last thing that we did. Hmm. I think we should just stop, right? What do you folks think? We'll probably do another stream in which we should be able to face or fix this issue, to be honest. I don't know how much time it takes. See how to run and not needed. But when we change or when we make changes to the service accounts, oh, am I thinking straight? I don't think so. Look at the stupid mistake I've done. So this is where I'm setting service account, right? And this is the project IO Connect Berlin. And this is the logs which is using Agent Connect. What's happening here? Stupid. I should be using Agent Connect actually, and the service accounts there, and then using the service accounts properly. So this is the Firebase admin SDK, and that means I'm also using the wrong SDK or wrong service account. So this is the service account, app hosting compute. Uh, this is, I think, the front end. And this is the Firebase administration, right? I think this is the one, default compute service account, right? So we go here and then we set the permissions here actually. So manage access, its editor. So we should set Vertex AI, or we can say reasoning. Okay, so we set the Vertex AI reasoning engine. If I want to test changes, what would that mean? But what I do know is apply proposed changes, apply. What I do know is that I need to delete the service account file um, and the changes from the agent connect. So what I'm going to do is, give me 1 second. Yeah, it's good I did that. So we should have agent connect, and that is Firebase admin SDK. And then what I can do is, okay, I can ask remove the usage of .json and the service account for we're removing it for the we're removing it. I'm going to share my screen now for the Google ADK, as when we run this on Cloud Run, it can access everything from the default IAM count. Okay. So I'm going to ask it to remove all the usages, and then we just deploy. Let's update the file. Then we remove those changes as well. So vertex AI, SA path, we don't need those. Delete the file. Okay, we're gonna deploy this now. So Firebase Studio deploy. Let's see. This deployment is fairly straightforward, so I think we should be good to go. When we make the call, we make it to the right endpoint at least. So we should be good. Let's just wait for this one, and then let's see what happens. Sunday, August 4. Okay. Dev to deploy. Okay, let's see. It seems like I've been invited to a workshop, and it seems like I'm a guest speaker, but they are giving me topic. Is the topic you are suggesting? Is the title of the workshop the topic that you are suggesting for me to speak on? Or do you want me to come up with a title that I want to speak on? Because it's weird that I'm being invited, but then I'm also being dictated what title I should have, which is a bit weird. All right. Okay, so this is deployed. Let's see finally if things work out for us or not really. Okay, so this is deployed, as you can see. Firebase SDK is set, initialized as well. I think all we need to do is just reload and see if things work. Let's see. Maybe it works. No, we got a 500. What happens this time? Okay, it's gonna take some time to actually show us what happened. But did we get an error? No, we did not get an error. Is that the right URL? It is the right URL. Let's refresh. What happened? It's the same permission denied, right? So you see, This time, there's nothing new. We removed the code for the service account, okay? And we still see that we have this exception. Reason IAM permission denied, right? We looked at the IAM as well, uh, which was this one, right? Okay, let's try to go uh, for Vertex AI. Vertex AI administrator. We have feature store enhance. We have Vertex AI user. I would say user, and let's save this. I think we need to have this policy. To be honest, I think that's what we want to have. I don't really want to just redeploy it. I want to test it out as well. I don't know how much time it takes to update the policy, but let's see. 003, that's exactly the same one. Permission denied. We're gonna have to wait for, I don't know, I think we're using the right tools, to be honest. So this is the app hosting one. It doesn't have any keys, right? And this is the compute service. This is the Firebase admin SDK service agent. This has nothing to do with the hosting. And this is, I think this is supposed to be the one that deploys everything. Keys, I don't have any keys. Okay, let's see policy analyzer. Agent connect. Then you have this guy. Configure your query. I don't know what parameter is. I would say permission. Okay, so this is where we go with the logs and the actual this. So this thing, I want to get this done. Let's see if this has the what. No matches completely. What about permissions? So here we should have so we have sessions.get, right? And wasn't this the one that we were looking at? So reasoning engines.get. So we have this guy. We have monitor resources, buckets.get, objects.get, sessions.delete, log entries. Not really reasoning engines. That is a bit weird. What if I go with this guy? So we have agents.delete, agents.update, context, deployments. I think I will find reasoning engines here. And OPQ. Oh, look at this. So region engine, create, delete, get. So this is the one, Vertex AI user. But we have just added it, right? So this one is supported. This one is supported. Can add, and we can try to run it. Analyze. One query. Okay, so we do get list get blah blah blah, which means I should be able to get it. I'm gonna try it one more time and let's see if this does work indeed. So we got 500 again. Why do we get a 500? Why do we get a 500 there? This still says AI platform engines.get. I think this is the problem. So here it says AI platform.google API slash com. Okay. What does this error mean? Do I have a slash problem there? Because I see, look, if you look at here, we have two slashes, like AI platform. I don't know. Okay. Okay. But then I want to see which. But do I need to deploy then or redeploy then? No, I don't really want to do that. I don't know. Maybe I want to redeploy and see if that fixes it. I want to redeploy. I want to redeploy actually. I want to see if redeploying fixes that. What could it be? If it doesn't work this time, I think we can stop the stream. Because then I would have to really figure out what is wrong with the IAM policies, because this is a default compute service account, right? Or I have to figure out which kind of IAM this uses, so to say. Okay. So here we are now. We have some revisions going on. Let's go to the service logs. And I want to check. Now this is getting a 404. Why is it getting a 404? Okay, because of the fav icon. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I'm gonna now try the request and hopefully it works. It was a flask engine thingy. All right. Let's hope for the best. Now I'm scared, so I'm checking the logs first before I actually check the. Yeah, so we still have the errors. I have no clue why that's the case. Oh no, I think I know now. I think I know now. The problem is that the agent engine is not deployed here. Oh no. Okay. The agent engine is actually deployed in a different project altogether. That's why we have the issue, I guess. Is there a workaround? That is the issue, that we have the agent engine in a completely different project. So we need to bring that here. Okay. So we have IAM permissions are specific to a project unless explicitly granted across projects. Here's how to resolve permission denied. The key is that the service account or user making the request must have necessary permissions granted in the project where the resource lives. So I need to go to service B. So identify the principal in project A. Determine which service account your cloud run service. I have already done that. Then if you configure custom service, blah, 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 go to project B's IAM page. So that's what I need to do. So then I go to project B. I think where I have pushed um, my reasoning engine. I think that's where it is. If I go to buckets, bucket. I think this is the one, right? 6 July. And where can I find the ID and stuff? Okay, what is the path here? No, that's not the path. Configuration. Uh, okay, let's go to Vertex AI. Agent engine. Okay, so this is the one that we pushed on Google ADK. And this is in US Central one. Okay, so that's good. And where can we find deployment details? Locations. Okay, yeah, this is the one. 913376. And that should be somewhere around. Yeah, this is the one. 3376. Okay, good. So this is the project where we are. We need to go to project B, blah, 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 grant permissions in project B. IAM page of project B, grant access. So we go to project B, which is IO Connect. We then go to IAM. Okay, then what do we do then? In the new principals field, paste the full email address of the service account from step one. Okay, so then we do a grant access. Then we go to the service account, which was this is one. So here we have the email. So we copy this. And then we go here. And then we paste it. I think it tries to find it pretty nicely. Okay, so we do that. Then we say Vertex AI Viewer. I think this is the one that we need, Vertex AI Viewer. Because we don't need to create resources, so to say. But I think we need Vertex AI user actually, because we're going to be doing a bit more. So we go to Vertex AI user then. So we can actually give, okay. Interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, so then I gave the policy, is updated now. So we got this access with Vertex AI user. So that project, which is Agent Connect, can access now this reasoning engine. That is awesome. Which means if I try to do this now, we still get a 500, but that's probably because we are not really updating it so far. Permission denied, but that's fine. We still just updated it. So the compute developers, blah blah blah, should be able to actually help. I think this is the one, but this should be good enough. So now let's try this again. I'm not really sure if I need to redeploy this. I'm hoping not. But if I now try this again, token key, accounts lookup key, we got a 500 here. But I think this should have been sufficient. Now we are at 18. Let's see what we get now. Okay, so it's the same error. Hmm. Okay. Do I need to redeploy the Cloud Run after these changes in project A? No, you typically Hmm. Can we test it actually? Maybe they are still making those changes. Maybe. We got it. Let's go. 200. There we go. Okay, no sessions. Good. Finally. So before we end the stream, we have the session now. Does that mean I can create a new session as well? Let's see. Okay, so we got a 200 now. So when we try to do a new chat, it's pending. We got a session created. Let's go. So we got one. So here's the session. And we have the user ID that's coming in. We got the events. Then we got a list of sessions as well. Then we got app name, blah, blah, blah. And I don't see the chat actually showing the session. So let's try this out. If I say refresh now, because we got an error here, now we see nothing. So sessions.map is not a function. Okay, so we are having some errors here. So when we come with session, we get an object like sessions.sessions.sessions and then 0, right? So this is a problem. But we could either fix the front end to do it, or we could either fix the back end to do it. I think the issue is in the back end, to be honest. So let's have a look at the backend controller now. So we have chat controller here. And this one, when we get all the sessions, it tries to do sessions and then sessions, right? So that's doing a double sessions thingy. So instead of doing that, so here, let's have a response. So here we have sessions and then sessions, right? So let's quickly just say sessions. Okay. So we do, let's fix this to send back just sessions, which should send back an array of session. How do you, ah, so you see how good my Python is? I don't know how to comment here. So this should return a sessions with an array. Okay. Um, we're going to save this. We're going to also deploy this as well. But then when we get the sessions, we should say in here, I think we can go to the code actually to fix this really quick. And that should be in AI. No, not in AI. App. I'm thinking, should I just ask Gemini to do it? Okay. When we list the sessions, we get a response from API as sessions. Are we treating the response correctly to map over sessions? Please double check and fix if necessary. So we go with this, and we also need to deploy this specific change to get the sessions. And I think it's going to be then the same issue with other things as well. So we need to then fix other stuff as well. So what we do now is, let's quickly see if it can. Okay, so all we need to do is just fix the backend, and then we could. So we could actually try something right now. If we try to change this, let's try to do this this way. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna change and override content. What happened just now? Aha, select folder. So we say documents. We create a new folder. It automatically selected it. Okay, anyways. So I go here and then I say override content, select folder, and then we go to documents. We say new folder, say XHR overrides. We create that folder and then we select it. Okay. So edit files. Okay. So here, then we go ahead and we just use this array instead of this. And then we do this. Okay. So yeah, let's save this now. I'm going to refresh this now. So this overrides it, hopefully. Oh, hey, let's look at this. So we got this chat from invalidate. Good. And if I click that, what happens then? It doesn't take me anywhere, actually. I was hoping to actually go inside the chat. Okay, so we get the chat, but if I click this, nothing happens. Can I delete it? Okay, so undefined. So we don't. Okay, so we can't really send a request in that case, which is fine. But we get the request here. We click here, and we don't really see anything at all. Preview. What happens when we click it? It doesn't do anything at all. Okay. What happens if we click a chat from the sidebar? It doesn't do anything right now. Okay, so this is being deployed in the meantime. All right, this is ready. Really good. So when I chat from the click, can you? Okay, I'm gonna go to prototyper and then make the changes. So I'm gonna say what happens if we click a chat from the left sidebar. Nothing happens right now. Okay, so here you're right clicking on chat server should display its conversation. It's not happening right now. Loading messages in the selector chart. I'll correct the logic to okay, that kind of makes sense. But then why do we have these errors? So I think that's because we have a 401 going on because of fake Firebase. I think that could be the case. So if I reload now, I don't see any errors. Okay, so we get the chat from invalidate. If I click it, nope, nothing happens. So I can still say clicking the chat from left sidebar does not open the chat window. And you know, chat, this is really, really big progress that we are able to do this and fix this. That is awesome, actually. Okay, so what happens now if I click now? Does something happen? Not really. If I click, okay, I can maybe say, I don't know. Okay, so I can say again clicking. Okay, I can see the sessions list in the left menu. When I click a particular session, I don't see the chat messages. I don't, or it doesn't bring the chat view. Okay, so now it found it. Repeated trouble with this feature, and then it said, okay, I'm making some pending changes. I want to see what changes it did. So chat page, loading, router removed all of that actually. Fetch threads, and then what happens? Handle set thread ID, so it sets the active thread. Fetch the threads, blah blah blah, and then here, okay, I have no clue what this did, but let's see. Okay, so here we go. Chat with invalidate. Now if I try to actually make a call, I want to see what happens then, right? So if I go ahead and say, hey, what happens then? Config, something happened. Okay, so let's see. I want to write a post on Google ADK. Nothing happens. When I type something in the chat box, nothing happens. And send it. Make sure the API call is implemented properly. And we do have the API calls right here. Okay, so it should have the context of it. Sending a message should result in a response from the agent, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what did change really? Console.error, where it shows a response. Okay, I don't know how that helps, but okay. If I say, hey, does it do anything? I don't see anything, to be honest. If I go to network, okay, so it tries to get the sessions, and I'm gonna say show all overrides. I'm gonna remove the overrides now, so we can do actual calls, right? Okay, now it fails. Invalid token. Okay, that's not too bad. If I go here, say Ahsan, uh, what happens now? And if I clear now again and reload, okay, so it doesn't load the sessions here. We got a 401 invalid token, and we see some message afterwards. Then Firebase ID token has no kid claim. Okay, it's because of that. It's because of the demo versus production environment, right? We really can't have the production keys here, right? So should we in development mode also use the right JSON? Okay, so let me quickly provide this the JSON for the project. So let me see project JSON, cloud messaging. No, I'm gonna say, let's say, I'll tell it. Replace the Firebase config with actual Firebase config. So I'm going to provide it the right config, and hopefully then it does it the right way. Okay, so this time it seems to be working. If I go here now, and if I refresh now, you're going to see that we make the sessions call and it passes. We get the data. So we don't have that issue anymore. So if I say new chat, we should have a new chat created. And now we are doing a get sessions. Okay, so we open that as well. Really good. Now I can say, I don't know, test, and that doesn't make any call, right? So test doesn't make a call. So I will still say sending a message doesn't really do anything. So sending a message does not do anything at all at the moment. Um, um, yeah, I don't really know why that's the case. Okay, so it does say that it's trying to find the issue. Is interacting with the backend is incorrectly structured to send a message and then process the response, which is why you're not seeing any updates. So now it has done, I think, some significant changes, which I would assume work now. Let's see. So still we had chat from invalidate. Hey, when I send the message, nothing really happens. Hello. If I send the message now, again, nothing really happens. Why is it that it doesn't do anything at all? If I delete it, what happens then? Blocked by the course policy. I don't think that's the right endpoint, to be honest. We'll see. But we have the sessions created at least. We do test, nothing happens. So if I say test, and if I do this, and then I can send this, typing a message and pressing the send button does not do anything. I don't see a network call or an error on console. So I don't really know why this is the issue. The deletion part, we can ignore that for now. Maybe it figured it out now. Maybe. So we go here, we say, hey, we hit send, and nothing happens still. Um, I'm not really sure now. Let's actually do this test. If I send it, nothing really happens. Nope, nothing happens. It just removed the whole chat input thingy. So I'll still say it doesn't do anything at all. But I think it's not actually the key down that's the problem. I think the problem is that it's not really sending anything at all. So we have this send button, right? What happens when we click it? So we have handle send here, right? Well, would you look at that? So we have this fake image URL that we are sending, and then we have send message, which comes from where exactly? What is this? Okay, on send message. I don't know where this comes from. Nope. Okay, so we have to fix it properly. I think I'm gonna call it a day. Yeah, let's try to fix it later on. I think I'm done for now. It's too late anyways. Thank you everyone who joined today. You're super cool, super nice people, and we made a lot of progress today with the whole project. I think we're close, and it's gonna be fun when we launch it. It's gonna be super fun. All right, thank you. Have a good one. Take care, and as always, happy coding. I'm gonna see you next time. Let's make it work. And not gonna be right back this time. Thanks for watching.